and welcome to another episode of You Love Comic Books. This is a YouTube show where I showcase my recent comic hauls, comic speculations, and stuff from my collection. I have an awesome haul for you. This is pretty much a dollar bin haul. There's a couple of non-dollar bin books in here. It seems like a lot of my hauls tend to be dollar bin hauls. I will always have some dollar bins, even in my regular hauls. But you know what? Who doesn't love a good dollar bin haul, right? All right, let's get into it. But before I do me a favor, smash that like button. Helps with the YouTube algorithm and assures more people will see these videos. If you like what you see, have any questions what you see, you wanted to say hi or correct me on something, leave a comment. I'll get back to you accordingly. If you like these videos, comic hauls, comic speculations, comic collections, comic mystery boxes, you just love comic books in general, guess what? You're at the right place. This is called You Love Comic Books, so do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, become part of the You Love Comic Books conversation, smash that bell for notifications. So yeah, I got an awesome haul for you. Let's start first with a non-dollar bin book. Madman Comics #4. Key significance of this book. So I paid $5 for this at a antique store. Probably more than I wanted to pay for this, but that's fine. It's in decent condition. The reason why I picked it up, only reason why I picked it up and paid this much for it is because the back cover is one of Dave Stevens' later drawings. This is where his signature looks more like, it's just like a DS. His classic signature would have his name spelled out. It almost looks like he has his name as DF, actually. Honestly, I wish this was the cover. If this was the cover, this book would be worth way more. I see this sell for like $15 to $25. I was tipped off by this book by watching Mercenot. I think he found his for like a quarter or something. I don't know. But happy to find this. Definitely a really good Dave Stevens drawing. You get all the bells and whistles in here, all the stuff that people like about Dave Stevens' art. Like I said, if this had Madman on top and it was #4, this would probably be a $200 book. So, happy to grab that. And then this was at another store. I paid $2.99 for this book. This one's in mint condition. She-Hulk, Sensational She-Hulk #4 newsstand. Key significance of this, it's a blonde Phantom cover. Right there, this character gets reintroduced in like #2. I think this is her first cover appearance or cover reappearance. There's some like hokey rumor that Taylor Swift is not playing Dazzler in Deadpool, but she's actually going to be playing Phantom Lady or Lady Phantom or the Blonde Phantom. I don't know. I forgot her name. I think I said it first and I totally forgot. I would not have picked this up just for speculation. It was only $2.99. I like to chip away at this series when I find these books for cheap anyway. I didn't have issue 4 to begin with, so happy to grab it. And like I said, mint condition, so that's pretty cool. All right, this is a dollar bin from, I have a big dollar bin home I'm going to show you, but this is a dollar bin from another store. I just have a couple of books here. Shadowhawk #3, Shadowhawk #2, Shadowhawk #1. Only reason why I picked these up is because I love Shadowhawk. No, it's because it's a newsstand. They're all 3 newsstand copies. I already got issue 4 to dollar bin a while ago. That says Savage Dragon on the cover. I figured why not get the first series in a newsstand. Found them for pretty cheap. They don't go for much or anything like that, but I just feel like these newsstands, especially for Image Comics, are kind of desirable. So, pretty cool. Happy to get those. Superman and Action Comics 672. The reason why I picked this one up, I've shown this before. This is not my first copy of this book. It's in decent condition. I'd say it's like a very fine near mint. It is the first 16-page comic is in this. It's technically an ad. It's an insert, and it has like a comic. You know, this is when Sonic was round and chubby and cute. So that's pretty cool. This story shows up not just in Action Comics, that month. It shows up in a Superman book, shows up in a Justice League book that has Lobo, so that's kind of cool. And it shows up in Detective Comics. So I figured, why not grab that? Sonic 3 is coming out at the end of this year, so there'll be a little bit more hype with Sonic as we go on. X-Men number 73. I forgot about this issue. This has Sabra in it. She's supposed to be in the new Captain America movie. I figured she doesn't really have like a ton of appearances. She first appears in Hulk. She shows up again in Hulk in the 90s. I don't even know what other comics she shows up in. But here she is in X-Men fighting everyone's favorite version of Magneto, Joseph. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I picked this one up for $1. Howard Lays Eggs. Comics interview. This is not in the greatest condition, but it has a cover with Howard the Duck from the movie. Everyone's favorite movie from the 80s. Howard the Duck is the reason why we really didn't get that many Marvel movies until like Blade. You know? I wonder if Howard the Duck was a hit. Would we have gotten more Marvel movies, or just the idea of Howard the Duck even getting made at the time was just a fluke? I don't know. Who knows? I mean, Howard the Duck was such a, if this movie came out in the 70s, when I feel like Howard the Duck was probably more popular. Oh, there you go. Look at that. There's a guy from G.I. Joe. The cool thing about comics interview too is there's always like little preview appearances. I know one of them has like the first so-called the first Black Suit Spider-Man. I don't know what issue that one is. I think that's definitely an older one. Maybe it's like 22 or something. So, but I literally just got it for this ridiculous photo. So happy to grab that. And then the last one from this dollar bin haul here, like I said, I got a lot more to come. Cable number 6. Key significance of this book. This book picked up a bit after the ending of X-Men 97, so spoilers if you haven't seen it. This is the first appearance of Rachel Summers' mother, Ascani, which I guess this kind of leads into Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix, which is the story that they're going to be kind of tackling in the X-Men 97, the next season. So pretty cool. Doesn't really go for a super crazy amount, but, you know, the idea of a Cable book having even any more value than a quarter is kind of cool. So, all right. Then I went to this store. This is City Records. My buds work there, and they always, hook me up and everything. And I'll show you the last book from that store in a second. But grab this just from the free bin. They just have like a bin of free comics in the front. I figured, why not grab this? DC Direct Currents, 0 month. This is kind of like their Marvel Age, I guess, or what preview magazine, but it has featuring Zero Hour, which is celebrating its like 30th anniversary. Ugh, I remember buying that new. I'm getting old. And it has this weird version. This is the misprint. There's a regular version where it's not magenta and green and everything. This one was $1. Doctor Strange 73. The reason why I picked it up, it's just one of the later issues in the series. Those last couple issues are really hard to get. I think it ends in the 80s or something. But this is the volume 3, the 90s series. Eternals number 7. Peach Momoko Thanos variant edition. I figured, why not for $1? Rick and Morty number 50. I don't really buy Rick and Morty comics. I kind of missed the train. I didn't get the number 1 when it came out, and I wasn't going to go back and pay like $50 to $100 for that issue, so I kind of just went whatever. But I do like all the variants. I think that's fun. And it was only $2, so that's kind of cool. And then the big book, I have one more after this one from this store. But the big book I got from this store costs $9. It has 18, but they have a half price bin. Star Wars 106 in a newsstand. This is the second to last issue in the series. It's got this sexy pink lady on the cover. Everyone's probably like, who the hell is that? I don't think anyone was reading Star Wars at the time. The print run on these last 6 issues are really low. I think this character kind of runs throughout the series, though. Introduced pretty I think pretty early on, actually. Um, so I figured, why not grab that? Second to last issue, hard to get. And then he contacted me, Justin, and he told me he had this, and I was like really excited. I lie Popeye #1, the free comic book day. This was not at my LCS when it came out with free comic book day. This was missing, and I went to multiple stores and could not find it. He contacted me and let me know that he got a couple of these, and he was gonna hold me one. So I was like, ooh, I really appreciate it, and it was free, so that's awesome. This is I don't know what the deal with this series is. I was looking through it. It looks like fun. I definitely want to read it. They're definitely going for like an anime Dragon Ball type story with Popeye. And honestly, I think that's a great way to update this series. This cover is sick. It's so ridiculous. But I love it. Look, that's a powerful freaking arm. That's what happens when you eat spinach, guys. So happy to grab that. Happy that Justin held that for me. That was awesome. Then, this is from my LCS. It has the big dollar bin, the rest of the dollar bins here, but I do have some of the newer books that I pick up. I grabbed this one, Helverine #1. They only had 2 different ones. They had some other variant, and then they had the Kevin Eastman one. I figured, why not get the Kevin Eastman one? Definitely want to read this. I think I heard some spoilers, but I got to check it out. Star Wars 47, haven't read it yet, but it looks like... You can lie, this is not a great cover. It's just like confused Lando playing, I guess. Is that Sabak? I don't know. It's alright. It's definitely not one of their better covers. It looks like an interior panel that they blew up. Then this one was $2.99 in the regular bin, but I think I got a discount on it, like 20% off anyway. This is A versus X one shot, Scotty Young cover. I think this might be a variant, considered a variant. There might be another version of this, but this is a good one to pick up. This is from the Avengers vs. X-Men series that came out, like, I don't even know now. What was it, like 2011? That storyline. Supposedly that's going to be that's going to be the movie. That it's not going to be Secret Wars. That it's going to be Avengers vs. X-Men. Who the hell knows they don't know what they're doing anymore. They make like 1 or 2 stinkers and everyone freaks out. I'm talking about the MCU. And everyone freaks out and they don't know what they're doing anymore. They had this perfect flow. And again, those movies were not perfect, but they had a perfect flow, at least a direction with Thanos coming. They knew there was something leading into, and they didn't do. I think the biggest failure. This is me talking here. The biggest failure that Phase 4 and the beginning of Phase 5 had is there's really no direction. Like, yes, we know Kang was going to be a thing, but if you didn't watch Loki and you didn't watch Ant-Man, you wouldn't know that Kang was a thing. Kang should have popped in and out of every... If they wanted to do it correctly, they would have had Kang pop in and out of every cutscene in the end of every movie that came out in the past, 5 years. I guess it's a good thing they didn't, being that they fired Jonathan Majors. Point I'm just saying, though, is it just feels directionless. And now that they had, Marvel's didn't do well, my fear is that they're just going to make, I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? We'll see. I'm excited about Deadpool Wolverine. Hopefully that one's really good. All right. That's just the end of my little rant. Let's get back to comics. Not comic book movies. All right. So that's cool. All right. Here we go. Dollar bin. So I got 24 books here. I think there's 24 books here. So I paid 20 because, again, you buy 12, you paying 10. So you get 2 free. This is awesome. Rock and Roll High School. White Noise, I guess that's the publication, or Rock and Roll High School, featuring the Melvins. So this is a Roger Corman public production book. Rock and Roll High School, I don't know if you guys remember, is a movie from the 70s with the Ramones in it. It's a classic. It's pretty corny, but it's got the Ramones in it. It's awesome. And then in the 80s, they made a really bad one where Corey Feldman was a lead. And he was doing a bizarre impression of Michael Jackson in that one. So if you ever saw that one, do yourself a favor and don't. Just watch the original. But this is kind of like a fun comic book sequel to the first Rockland High School, where instead of the Ramones showing up, the Melvins show up. That's pretty awesome. And then Batman Brave and Bold, Calling All Robins. I think that was a great book to pick up just for, I mean, it's a cool cover with all the different Robins and that more cartoonish style, so that's cool. Detective Comics 46 variant. Picked this up just because it's a cool Looney Tunes variant cover. So I just like the way the characters are kind of stylized. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe it would have been cool if they snuck in some more Looney Tune characters. You got Daffy Duck in there, but that's still pretty awesome. Batman, Superman, #1. One, I never had this book. I've always kind of wanted to get this, but this is the combo pack variant. And these tend to be pretty rare. So that's pretty cool. Speaking of rare, Superman #285, I think. I have to open up. I don't want to. It's the Whitman variant. Anytime I see these, always pick them up. If I find them in a dollar bin, they tend to go for like $10 easily on eBay. Like, people hunt these down. Like I said, the joke was with Whitman books, they were always considered like trash. But I think the DC ones might be a little more desirable because one, it has like the little logo there and it says Whitman on top, so it feels more like a different variant. And it doesn't, if you notice something, if you're looking at it, something's missing, and that's the issue number. It's kind of like those Dell books, those Dell comics where you gotta or Gold Key, I guess, where you gotta open it up and look to see what the number is and the publishing credits or whatever on the bottom of the first page or whatever. So that's the deal with these. So that's pretty cool. Crypt of Shadows #1 variant edition from 2022. Pick this one up. Doesn't really have any value, but it's such a crazy book from like the 90s, like that crazy art. It's a Greg Capullo image comic. The Creech #1. I don't know. They made a toy of this. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. It's just a big, huge hunk of plastic. This is pretty cool. Elvira in Horrorland #4. This is the black and white variant. There is like a Freddy Krueger parody in it, and there's like what's his name? The TVA. There's a parody of that too. This came out in 2022, so it's post Loki season 1. So that's pretty funny. Legendary Star-Lord #1, the variant edition. This is a Scotty Young cover. I figured why not. That's a fun one. All right, here's a cool Halloween book. Archie Halloween Spectacular. Figured that's a fun one with the two girls in the front in Halloween costumes. Speaking of Betty and Veronica, this is a variant. The interiors are actually Adam Hughes, which he tends to not do interior art, but he did this series. But this is a variant. I had a really hard time finding anything about this book. It doesn't go for that much. It's probably like 15 at most. Chrissy Zulo. I figured for $1, it's kind of a cool little fight poster. I think that's awesome. Speaking of another variant, Crazy #1. I think this is EM Geist, I don't know. That's the one who does the cover. I think that's really cool, the whole painterly look. I really like that. Now, there is a rare variant that has Deadpool and Wolverine on the cover, and that one goes for a lot. That's like easily $100 to $300 book. They didn't have that one. They had this one, so happy to grab that. Monsters #1 variant edition. This is an awesome kaiju poster variant. I had to get that one. That one's cool. It just looks like an old school, like 60s Godzilla poster with all the kanji and everything on it. That is awesome. And then this is pretty cool. Here's a little run of comics. Rocket Raccoon #5 with Scotty Young covers. I don't think he does the interiors though. Rocket Raccoon #4. Rocket Raccoon #3. Rocket Raccoon #2. And Rocket Raccoon #1. I figured might as well, and when I'm looking for these books, I want to get that magic number of like 12 books or 24 books, or hell, if there's 36 books, it's worth it, It's like, I always feel like when I'm buying like only 5, I'm like, man, I'm not taking advantage. But of course, I'm not going to just buy anything. Like, I want to make sure it's something cool, something that I like, or something that I know I could probably resell at some point. So that's awesome. And then, almost done, guys. Do me a favor, smash that like button. If you haven't done that already, leave a comment, or you can wait till the end of the video if you want to leave a comment. If you haven't done it already, smash that subscribe button. Become part of the You Love Comic Books conversation. Do me a favor, there's links in every episode on my YouTube, for my Instagram. Follow me there. I have over 3,000 followers there. You can also click on the link for my eBay. Check out all the stuff I have there: comics, toys, trades, video games, etc. All right, here we go. Adventures of Superman 497, second print. Nothing too crazy. You can find these a lot in dollar bins. Superman number 74 in the second print. And then this is always great. I always love finding these in dollar bins. These are doable. This is definitely a great book to get. Superman, the Man of Steel, number 18, the third print. I think there's like a sixth print or something. I don't know. There's one of these, or maybe it's the fourth print that's really rare. But happy to grab that. I figured, originally I was just going to get these, but I figured I'm going to get these two as well. Maybe sell them as a bundle at some point. So happy to grab that. And that's such a cool cover. That's like one of the coolest covers out there of like an introduction of a character. Obviously, would it have been a bigger deal if we got to see Doomsday revealed? Maybe, I don't know, but it's still kind of cool. This like weird, mysterious with the goggles and everything. So, all right, this book would have been amazing to find in dollar bin if this was in great condition. But I feel like even in this bad condition, it's still worth getting. Spawn number 219. This is the first Bat Spawn. It's got a Michael Golden McFarlane cover. Now, this book in mint condition could go easily for like 60 to 70 bucks. But this one will probably go for like 10 or 15 at most. It's definitely a reader copy. Around this time period, the print run is really, really low for Spawn. And these issues tend to go for a decent amount. So I originally was going to get it because it was really bad. But I'm like, you know what? I am going to get it because this resale will pay for like most of this haul here. Okay, here's another good one. This one's like a $15 to $20 book easily. The Auteur, number 1. The Eric Powell from the Goon and other great. He's just a great illustrator in general. This book, the key significance of this is just this cover with Stan Lee with boobs. So if you love Stan Lee and you were like, oh man, what would make Stan Lee even more Excelsior? Well, here it is, folks. This is the book that will get, I don't know, whatever. All right, last book. Do me a favor, smash that like button if you haven't done it already. This is Sonic the Hedgehog number 59, cover B variant. Now, I saw this and I was like, I know this is like, I looked it up. This thing sells for like 35 to 40 bucks. I know, again, you want to look at sold on eBay, what it's sold for. There's people who are going to sell things for like stupid money and they're never going to sell it, or someone will maybe buy it, who knows. But you always want to look on sold. And like I said, I saw this for 35. The cover, a lot of this title from IDW, those cover Bs from a lot of these books tend to go for a bit. And I think I could see this one going up even more because the big character in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is Shadow. And people love Shadow. So, and this is an awesome Shadow cover. So I'm happy I grabbed that. I thought that was a great book to find in a dollar bin. Like I said, lots of great books here. Obviously nothing super, super insane like some of my previous videos. I had one guy said, show me a receipt. Show us the receipt. I'm like, he doesn't believe me. I'm like, listen, I find these things. It happens. And you might find them too. If you look. If you don't look, you're not going to find it, That's how it works. So yeah, this was, I think, an awesome, mostly dollar bin haul. Obviously, starting off with that awesome Dave Stevens back cover to Madman. That's awesome. And then, this awesome Sonic the Hedgehog and all these other awesome books that I showed you. So do me a favor. Smash that like button. If you have any questions, what you saw, leave a comment or any of that. Get back to I'll get back to you. Thank you. If you haven't done already, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to get notifications. You're gonna see a previous video here. You're gonna see a previous video there. You gotta smash that subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye bye.